The Washington football team's going 16-0. If you get pissed off at that point, tough. I'll see you down in the comment section. What's going on, guys? Football season is back, baby, and I'm excited now more than ever to be introducing a new series to the channel. This series right here is just where I start talking about my Washington football team. Like, I'm reviewing week number 2 of the preseason right now. Now, yes, I know some of you are very good students. You read the title and say, hey, you said this is the beginning of the series, but why does it say week number 2? What happened to week number 1? So this is what happened. I had week number 1, had it ready to go, went to go upload it to YouTube. File got corrupted. I did not feel like re-uploading this or re-shooting week number 1. So this is where we're starting at. We're starting at week number 2. I may touch on week number 1 notes or stuff that I had said here and there. I don't know, because this is kind of just off the top of my head. Brings me to a great point. Don't expect me to be talking a whole bunch of logistics. Who knows? I may just come out the gates and say the Washington football team's going 16-0. If you get pissed off at that point, tough. I'll see you down in the comment section. But anyways, I'm just going to be talking from my point of view, a fan's perspective, what I thought about the previous week, and what I think moves are that the team should make. I may have a few people out there that agree with me. Awesome. Those people that agree with me, hit that like button. For those of you that don't agree with what I said, go ahead, hit that dislike button. I'll see you down in the comment section. But anyways, on to week number 2. The Washington football team did win week number 2. This brings our record to 1-1 in the preseason. Like that really matters. We end up beating the Cincinnati Bengals 17-13. But like I said, the records really don't matter in preseason. What I'm really looking at is, can we improve in areas where we suffered a lot last year? My biggest issue with the Washington football team going into last year was our offensive line, and it was for a very good reason, because we ended up losing Trent Williams, our Pro Bowl left tackle, that's now 2 years ago or whatever. And we never really did find a piece to put a plug in to replace him and help solidify our offensive line. And as well, we had quarterback issues as well. And what else did we have last year? I'm not sure. But my biggest, our receivers also. Our receiving lineup wasn't really that great. It wasn't. I won't say that they weren't that great. I'll say I wasn't comfortable with them. Terry McLaurin for sure. I thought he was going to be decent, but I definitely didn't expect him to do as well as he did last year. But I'm happy for it. But anyways, our offensive line was the biggest issue that I had with the squad the year before, and I feel like over this free agency and over the draft this year, we actually really did touch on our offensive line. And I don't want to say we fixed it, because there's always areas of improvement but we did a pretty damn good job on trying to address our needs. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did you address your needs at the offensive line position? Well, let me explain this to you. So, free agency, we ended up picking up Charles Leno and both Cornelius Lucas, and I believe both of those guys came from the Bears, if I'm not mistaken. I know Charles Leno did, but honestly, I never really knew much about Charles Leno, and honestly, I never really knew much about any other offensive linemen in the league besides a select few, ones that played for me or ones that were just known to be complete studs, like Joe Thomas or whatever, stuff like that. But anyways, I did a little bit of research on Pro Football Index, took a look at Charles Leno and his stats and how he's been doing so far in his career in the National Football League, and he's pretty damn good. I mean, he's not a top of the line, greatest left tackle ever, but he's not terrible either. He's a really durable player, and that was a problem that we had a lot with our offensive line position. Actually, the past couple years, really. Just durability just really hasn't been there. But he's played every single game, and out of all the new guys that we really brought in, I looked at, like I said, on Pro Football Index, it showed how much they were penalized. He was penalized the most out of everybody, but at the same time, he's only had 7 flags thrown on him. So think of it, in a 16-game season, you get 7 flags. That's pretty decent. I mean, so there's that. And like I said, the durability factor. Cornelius Lucas also, he didn't really start much, but he was a consistent player as well. Like I said, I can't remember exactly what team he came from, but I'm pretty sure it's the Bears. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comment section below. But yeah, like I said, he didn't really play much, didn't really start at all. But when he did play, he was a consistent player, not highly penalized either. And as well, we addressed our offense line issue in the draft by picking up Samuel Cosmi with our second-round pick out of Texas. I'm excited to see how he progresses. What was it, week number 1 up against the Patriots, I believe. He had, what is that defensive end for the Patriots now who used to be a Raven? He was lined up on Cosmi a couple times, and I saw the way he was handling him. I was like, okay, this kid could actually really block, because whatever pass rusher it was that he was facing, it wasn't like he was just like a complete animal, but he was pretty damn good. So, but I mean, I shouldn't have expected anything less, because I'm sure Cosmi was lined up against Chase Young or Montez Sweat a lot during practice. So you have no choice but to get better at blocking when you're going up against a defensive or a future defensive player of the year on the other side of the football every day in practice. So Cosmi, I feel like he'll be all right. He'll do just fine. Chase Roulier is another guy that we have already on the offensive line. We don't really have to worry about signing him or anything, because I believe he's still under that rookie contract. And Chase Roulier is very consistent as well. He only missed 5 games in 4 years. My guy is consistent, and he doesn't get penalized that much as well. So, I mean, well, especially in the center position, it's a lot going on. You got to snap the ball, then find the guy at the same time. A lot of centers have the issue with holding on to the defender or getting called for holding penalties. Not Chase Roulier, like I said, and he's only missed 5 games in 4 years. Now, the other area, which is obvious that everybody knew that Washington needed to address, was the quarterback position. Now, hear me out here with the quarterback position. I may say something here that a lot of people don't agree with, but just listen. Just do me that. Just listen. So, like we already know, Dwayne Haskins is out. He's gone. Taylor Heinicke did a pretty damn good job for Washington in the playoff game up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He kept us in that game. We also brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick, aka Fitzmagic, and Fitzmagic, for a lot of people, are saying no, he's not the quarterback for the future for the Washington football team. And you're correct when you make that statement. But to say that Ryan Fitzpatrick couldn't help us win, I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the side where I'm kind of siding with Fitzmagic. I think that he could do great. Now, let me just be clear with this first and foremost. The quarterback that I'm pulling for, I want to see come out of this preseason quarterback competition. I want to see Taylor Heinicke. I really just like the way that the guy plays, and I feel like he adds another dimension to our nice run there by Joe Burrow. He adds another dimension to our team that Ryan Fitzpatrick just can't do anymore, and that's just his mobility. Now, with all the speed and everything else, the skill position that we have on the offensive side of the ball, I feel like we could take this offense to just go places with Taylor Heinicke back there, throwing the ball around, running whatever kind of offenses that we could put together that just really utilizes his abilities. But at the same time, I feel like Fitzpatrick could do a good job also. So I wouldn't really necessarily be upset either way Ron Rivera decides to go, which guy will be the starting quarterback. A comment that I actually did a little bit of research into, this is like the main thing that I looked into, was when Ryan Fitzpatrick said that this is the best team that he's ever really been a part of. This is like the most talented team that he's ever been a part of. And he might be right. I don't think Fitzpatrick has ever made the playoffs, but the time that he got the closest and had a pretty damn good record was when he was playing with the Jets. They ended up going 10-6 in 2015. Ryan Fitzpatrick actually that was his best year. He had career highs in passing yards and passing touchdowns. And when you look at that team and see the pieces that he had around him and kind of compare it to what this Washington football team has, I mean, he's right, and this could be something that could be dangerous for the rest of the teams in the NFC East, which I definitely think we're going to come out on top victorious again this year. But anyways, like I said, that 2015 Jets team had Chris Ivory at the running back position. That year, he went over 1,000 yards rushing and had 7 rushing touchdowns. And we have Antonio Gibson, and I'm pretty sure Antonio Gibson, depending on how much we feature him in the offense, especially with running the ball this year, pretty sure he could sniff that 1,000-yard mark. If not, it could be, well, let me get into that part later, because I feel like we have a 3-way, even potentially a 4-way tie for running backs on this team. We might have to carry 4 into the season. I don't think we will, but like I said, I'll get to that in a later subject. But anyways, receivers that he was throwing to, Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall. My guy has Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel this year. And that year, both Decker and Marshall went over 1,000 yards. Marshall leading the way with 1,500 yards exactly. But I'm expecting another breakout year here for Terry McLaurin. Last year, what did he have? He had over 1,000. Actually, it was 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 something. He only had like 4 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin, I believe he led the team in receptions last year. And he had, what, like 3 or 4 different quarterbacks throwing the ball to him. This year, with praying for consistency at that position, Terry McLaurin will have another breakout year, and he will do great things. Great things. But at the same time, Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015 had Kellen Davis at the tight end position. I'm not sure about you, but I don't really remember Kellen Davis at all. And it's probably for a good reason, because in 2015, he only had 3 catches for 18 yards and a tutty. We have Logan Thomas in Washington. Already an upgrade right there. Logan Thomas just had his best year yet last year. And he just got paid, I'm pretty sure. So Logan Thomas is going to be looking to ball out and show Dan Snyder exactly why he paid him big dollars that he did. So... and like I said, offensive line as well. I feel like our offensive line got better this year. And just the number of targets that Ryan Fitzpatrick had, or comparing the targets from 2015 Ryan Fitzpatrick's team with the Jets to this Washington team, already night and day. Now, the other thing you may point out is like, oh, well, the Jets had a good defense that year. You would be correct, but... let's really look at it. I know everybody's going to say, oh, they had Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie. Okay, yeah, they did, but this isn't like Revis Island that we're talking about. Like, this isn't the younger Darrelle Revis who you dare throw his way. You're smoking something that you shouldn't be, because nobody throws Revis' way. This is a 30-year-old Darrelle Revis and a 31-year-old Cromartie. So, still good players, but nowhere near their prime at all. And in fact, Cromartie didn't even have any interceptions that year. He only had Darrelle Revis is the only one who had the interception. He had 5 interceptions that year. So this year, I'm expecting our Washington defense to be a lot better, especially in our secondary. Secondary, I'm glad I brought that up, because this week number 2 matchup up against the Bengals, like it really helped. I'll just put it that way. It really helped me look at the secondary to see if guys were consistent, because up against the Patriots, they were balling a little bit. I mean, what's his name? Mac Jones was dotting us up every time, from time to time there. But this year, I feel like we have a lot of depth there at that cornerback position. I mean, we have already, William Jackson. I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence about Troy Apke being moved there to that cornerback position. Granted, I know why he's moved there, because he's not really going to see any time at either the safety or free safety position, with Bobby McCain now being on the team. And then he's not going to be able to see the field at all at the strong safety position, because, I mean, we got 2 complete studs there in Landon Collins and Cameron Curl. So, I mean, it's going to be a learning curve there for Troy Apke. But, I mean, he showed that he can play the position. He can play it. It's just going to be difficult. It's just going to be like a learning curve for him right now. But once he gets it going, he'll be all right. But the guy who is shocking me right now is McTire. Like, I don't know where this guy came from, but he flashed a lot. He flashed all over the field here in week number 2 up against the Bengals. And I gotta say, I'm becoming a fan of him slowly but surely. So it'll be interesting to see how we end up working him into the rotation, because we still do have Kendall Fuller, and like I said, we have what's his name? He just slipped my mind now. Danny Johnson also, and Jimmy Moreland to work into that rotation also. But honestly, at this point, I feel like McTire has more than proven that he deserves to be on this team and he deserves to be seeing the field from time to time there on Sundays. Our defense line, I'm not even going to touch there. I'm just going to say the names and you already know what it is. Sweat, Payne, Young, who am I missing? Ioannidis, like Allen. Like, come on now. Like, no, who's running up the middle? Why would you run up the middle on those guys? Our linebacking core, though, thank the heavens that we end up drafting Jamin Davis, because our linebackers last year, they were good, they were decent, but I don't know why Davis was on the team last year. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, he had a great career. But at just this point in the career, I didn't see it. Like, he was just too slow. Couldn't really get out in pass coverage. So I don't know. This I'll still need to see a little bit more from our linebacking core just to feel comfortable and confident with them. And I just really like to see how we end up using them all, because we have a lot of guys that I think could really step up and be game changing in that position. And initially, I didn't think that we were going to be using Jamin Davis at the Mike position, but Ron Rivera is a defensive-minded coach, so I mean, I trust him. I want to see what Jamin Davis can do. I just thought that would be a lot to put on a rookie. I thought they would probably want to use him as like the Sam or the Will linebacker, and either move like Cole Holcomb or John Bostic, have them at that Mike position, since they have been in the system obviously longer than Jamin Davis has. But it is what it is. Let's see how they end up using them. Cleo Hudson's another guy at that linebacking position that I'm excited to see how he works out. But anyways, other position battles that I didn't think there was really going to be any, but shockingly, guys stepped up, and I feel like they're forcing. They're going to be forcing this coaching staff to really look at the numbers and think about how many players they're going to carry in that position. And that position I'm talking about is running back, really. Last year we carried 3 running backs. We had Antonio Gibson, we had J.D. McKissick, and we had Peyton Barber. Now this new guy, what is his name? I want to get it right because man has been balling. Patterson, I can't remember what his first name is, but Patterson, dude, against the Bengals had 16 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. He's an overall beast. I mean, he does it all. It's not like he just does it in the run game. He also does it in the pass game. So, I don't know. Like, he's challenging for either the 3rd running back position, or he's just going to force Ron Rivera and this offense to carry 4 running backs. Now, if they are just dead set on only wanting to carry 3 running backs, I don't know. I mean, all four of those guys, they really, I mean, well, taking Antonio Gibson out the picture, because we already know that Gibson's going to make the team no matter what. But those other 3 guys out of McKissick, Barber, and Patterson, last year we really used McKissick in a lot of passing situations. Like he did run the ball on the ground from time to time, but it was really swing passes, or we split him out wide, or screen passes to him. Never really got too many carries inside the tackles and stuff like that. But Peyton Barber, he was just seen as that 3rd down bruising back. If we're only going to carry 3 running backs, I can definitely see us dropping Peyton Barber and picking up McKissick. Or if they want, and like what Ron Rivera has said before, he wants versatile players that can do it all. And not everybody may agree with me when I say this, but I think that Patterson could replace J.D. McKissick. I feel like he could do it all just as good, if not better, than what J.D. McKissick could do. Now, I'm not sure about split out wide, because I don't think we have split him out very much, or at least I didn't catch it when we had him split out wide. So his route running, I'm not sure what that looks like, but I like what I've seen so far. I like the toughness of Patterson. I definitely think that he's made a case as to why he should be or could be on this team. I mean, if we cut him, I feel like he's going to be Ron Rivera's going to be upsetting a lot of Washington fans. So I definitely think he's going to make this team. It's just, what are we going to do behind it, and what is his role going to look like? Because this dude, the way that he's balling, I definitely think that he deserves a spot on the team. Now, another guy that I've been pulling for, I've been waiting to see him flash, is the guy that we drafted in the fourth round. What was it, 2 years ago now? AGG, Antonio Gandy Golden. Now, I can't remember exactly. I think I was listening to a press conference where Ron Rivera was asked about AGG and how he's been doing. He didn't really have much to say about him, so I was kind of worried. I was like, man, Ron's not seeing what this guy can really bring to the team. He needs the ball. He needs to show his ass so that Ron Rivera has no choice but to take another look at him and say, you know what? We need to keep this guy on the team. He needs a spot. He deserves a spot on this team, and we'll find that spot for him. Now, for those of you that don't remember, this kid came out at Liberty, and the biggest hype about him was the fact that he's a big receiver. I believe he's like 6'4", 6'5". He goes up and he attacks the ball, and I feel like that is exactly what we have been missing on our offense for years. The last guy that I can remember that we really had that did something like that was Pierre Garçon. We did end up drafting Josh Dotson out of TCU a couple years ago, and that was just a completely failed experiment. Maybe some other time I'll go into detail on why that was such a, or at least my perspective of why I thought that was a failed experiment. But yeah, I definitely think that Antonio Gandy Golden should be on this team. He could be on this team, and he'd be a huge piece to use, especially in the red zone, man. But he did have he had the 2-point conversion in the red zone where was that Heineke or was that Kyle Allen threw him a jump ball? I can't remember which one, but somebody threw him a jump ball on a 2-point conversion. He ended up snagging the hell out of that pass, and he ended up having, well, he ended with like 3 receptions that game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3 receptions for 38 yards. Obviously, the 2-point conversion didn't count as a touchdown because it was a 2-point conversion. But he did make a lot of nice catches, and he even had the run after catch there. So I'm hoping that Ron Rivera will not cut Antonio Gandy Golden. I hope that he makes the team. I honestly, like me personally, I would hate to see him go. With that being said, if he does have to go, I understand it because there's just so much talent at that wide receiver position that we have right now that it's just ridiculous. Because think of it, we have to get Terry McLaurin on the field for sure. Curtis Sandmill is definitely going to be on the field as well. What was it, first round or second round pick? Diami Brown, can't remember where he was drafted. I'm drawing a blank right now, but yeah, he showed off and he showed why he's going to need the ball thrown his way at least a couple times. And I mean, like I said, at the tight end position, Logan Thomas, there's just a lot going on there. Cecil Jones is Seals Jones. I call him Cecil. Seals Jones is another guy. So there's a lot of Isaiah Wright as well. There's a lot, and Cam. It was not Cam Sims, right? Not Steven Sims, because Steven Sims, he did all right, but Cam Sims week number 2 had a better game than Steven Sims did. So yeah, Cam Sims. So there's a lot of guys at the wide receiver position that we definitely need to keep. And if we cut into, put it like this, I feel like our offense needs a big, tall wide receiver. The only 2 big, tall guys that we have that are over 6'3" is Gandy Golden, who, like I said, is 6'4", and not Isaiah. I just said his name. Cam Sims. He's like 6'5", I believe. Both those guys are throw it up there and let them go get it type of players. They have a little bit of speed to them, not a whole bunch, but I feel like that's something that our offense is missing, especially with if we end up having Ryan Fitzpatrick. He already likes to throw the ball up there, let guys go get it. Let's go ahead and let him throw it up to a 6'5", 6'4" receiver. Let them sky over top of the defense and go snag 1 or 2. So between the 2 guys, I would rather see AGG, just because, I mean, contract situation. I'm not sure exactly what Cam Sims' contract situation is, if he's still under a rookie deal or whatever. I just know that AGG is, and I'm kind of biased towards him because I'm a fan of him. I would love to see him do great. I mean, he's from Liberty. He's basically a hometown guy. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that situation. As far as the outlook on this season, I have no problem. I have no problem saying it at all. We're going to win the NFC East. we're going to make it into the playoffs, obviously, because we're going to win the East. And how far we go, that's a whole nother question. You got to think about durability and all that other stuff. But I think our offensive line durability will be great. Running back durability should be good. Quarterback situation should be resolved by the end of preseason here. Whichever guy they go with. Like I said, I'm hoping for Heineke, but I'm fine with Fitzpatrick. That will be resolved. And I feel like we can make a decent run. The goal I have for us is just winning one playoff game. So making it to the divisional round of the playoffs. I feel like there's no reason why we couldn't make it. If you listen to everybody on ESPN, like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. and everybody else, everybody's just going to say, everybody not just saying, going to say, they are saying that Washington's going to have another down year. I've literally gotten to the point where whenever they start talking about the NFC East, I get tired of it because they keep on saying that the freaking Cowboys are going to win the East. The Cowboys got so much better. The Cowboys are this, the Cowboys are that. Come on now. They had like the worst rushing attack, worst rushing defense in the league last year. You're telling me that all they had to do was just change their defensive coordinator and draft Michael Parsons, and their defense just got that much better? Like, it's just day and night. Now, don't get me wrong. Michael Parsons is a great player. Just seeing the couple games that he has played already, this kid flies around the field. Like, whenever we play the Cowboys, we're going to have to make sure if we run the ball, someone accounts for blocking him. Someone gets a helmet on him because he will disrupt plays. I could definitely see him winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. No problem at all. Because this kid, the way he plays, it's just like, it's scary almost. It's like the way that he flies around the field. But I still don't think that makes them the best team in the East. And they say, yo, we have the best quarterback, Dak Prescott. Dak is going to take... Dak is good, but as we already seen on Hard Knocks, Dak is going through some things right now. His shoulder's not right. So I'm a firm believer that the Washington football team will take the East. However, I don't think it will be easy. I feel like the Giants are going to be the team that gives us issues along the way. And like I said, I'm just hoping for a playoff victory. That's all I need. A playoff victory. We beat the Cowboys twice, and this season is a win for me. Obviously, I would love to see us go 16-0. Would love to see us win the Super Bowl, but I don't think we're there just yet. I feel like our Super Bowl window has opened. Like, our defense, this is the best defense that I have seen in a while. Like, in a while. Our Super Bowl window has opened. We have all those guys under contract too for the next 3 to 4 years, so we don't really have to worry about paying too many people. Besides Brandon Sheriff, like I said, we have got to pay him next year, or at least hopefully we get that resolved by the end of this year, or before the end of this year. But our Super Bowl window has opened. We still do need to address the quarterback situation. Now, I'm sure some people have already written this in the comment section, or they're at least thinking it. You said that you're fine with Fitzmagic or Taylor Heineke, so you think Heineke is a quarterback for the future? No, I think that Heineke or Fitzpatrick is the quarterback for right now. But that doesn't mean that I think that they're the quarterback for this team for the foreseeable future. I still think that we need to find that. But if we can find that next guy within the next 1 to 2 years, I feel like we could really start to say this team has a chance of going places. Who knows? Maybe come free agency, we'll end up signing Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers come to DC, all bets are off. It's game over. We're winning a chip. Like, go ahead and mark it down right now. I said it. If Aaron Rodgers comes to DC, he comes to the Washington football team, will be known as the Washington Red Bulls by then. Aaron Rodgers will take us to the championship game, and we will win the Super Bowl. So that's all I got for you guys. I will see you guys after the Week 3 game, where we end up matching up against the Baltimore Ravens, another hometown team. That, like I said, I'm a Washington football team fan, but I keep my eye on the Ravens also. You know, they're right up the road. They're right up 270. So leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you disagree with anything, I will see you guys in the comment section. And I will chat with you all later.